What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Dogecoin. It is the 23rd of September. We are 3 hours and 7 minutes into the new day. Danny, you're the one that requested this. We're talking about this for you, my friend. Danny in the Discord, Danny. 10.74 cents. I want to start the video off by saying I think it's a great time to buy. I absolutely do. I think it's a great time to buy. I also believe the price will go lower. I think if you're patient, you probably can snag, anything from like a 5% discount, a 10% discount, a 20%, 15% discount maybe. I don't think you'll actually see anything greater than like a 15% discount from the current price. Maybe, but I certainly do expect that prices will go below 10 cents again, right? And that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying for a while now, is that I expect, since this high, even since this high here, I've been saying that anytime we're below 10 cents, it's a great time to invest. It's a great time to DCA. And I think I even said even below like 12 cents, right? And I would stand by that. We're at 10.7 cents now. 12 cents is still a great price, right? Especially for where we're going to go in the future with Dogecoin. But relative to the overall price action of the chart, absolutely 10.74 cents. It's a great time to buy. I think it's totally fine. I just do believe that we're going to go lower. I do believe that Dogecoin will be boring. I'm going to do a quick little comparison that I do not in every video, but I've done it a good bit of the time, so we're going to do it in this one, just to not prove a point, but just to show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. I guess it is to prove a point. Let's see. BTC. And anybody who's been watching the channel for a while, you guys already have seen this chart, but I'm just going to do it one more time so that we have it here for anybody who hasn't seen this before, or maybe for people who just like to see it, whatever. But I like to do it this way. Okay. We take the beginning, right? Here's the low of the Bitcoin bear market, right? Let me actually put it in candles so that, oops, that's not the right one. Let me put it in candles here. Candles. So that's our low, our first low, right? Or is that our second low? Damn it! Now let me just see. Hold on. BTC USD index monthly. Bitcoin's second low was in August of 2015. Okay, so that was like the beginning of the bull market. That's why I don't want to measure the beginning of the bull market from here if it's really from here, right? This was not the beginning of the bull market. It was just the end of the bear market. This is the beginning of the bull market. So going back to this chart, not the 15th, which for whatever reason that is, the actual low, but the August, not the January, but the August. August to the high of Bitcoin. I promise you this is going to make sense in a second. If it doesn't, if you stuck around, you're going to get the meat and potatoes real soon. From the low here, the beginning of the bull cycle, which I would say is here for Bitcoin technically. Let's just actually put it on that month, to the end of the bull cycle, which would have been here 26 months. And now we've got our current bull cycle, so we're not going to go over that now. But off of these two iterations, when did Dogecoin really start to do Dogecoin things? Like, when did it start to move up, right? It wasn't until this point right here, and it wasn't until this point right here. This is when Dogecoin started to do Dogecoin things for both of these prior cycles. Okay, 28 bars, 26 bars from a beginning to an end point, right? Not the all-time high, but the end point. Not the low, but the beginning point, right? So like that's where these are measured from. If we draw these lines back to where Dogecoin, the white lines, started to do things, it was 19 months into the bull cycle, a bull cycle that lasted 28 months. 28, that's basically 2/3, right? If we divide, let's go to Google Calculator right now for those of you that want to just see it visually. You do 19 divided by 28. It's essentially 2/3. 2/3 would be 66.666, or it'd be 0.66666 repeating, right? So that's essentially 2/3. That was the first cycle. Dogecoin didn't start to pop off and do Dogecoin things. Yes, it was moving up, but it was very boring until 2/3 of the cycle into it, right? The next cycle here, if I could just get it right, man. At first it was 26 bars here. It took 21 bars, 21 out of 26. That's a little bit more than 2/3, I feel like, right? A little bit more than 2/3. But let's see. 21 divided by 26. 80%, right? Even more than 2/3. So later Later in the bull cycle is when Dogecoin decides to do its things, right? We are right now, and let's see both of these times. This is November. The halving was in May, so this was 6 months after the halving. Here the halving was in July, okay, and this was, or actually it was, sorry, July 2016, not 27, not 2015, July 2016. This was 8 months after the halving. Our halving was in April. We are 5 months away from that. So even based off of our earliest iteration, which would have been this first or this second cycle here, 6 months in is whenever we finally started to do Dogecoin things, which would imply that October could be the earliest we see it. This was 8 months, which could imply that the latest would be December. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We've only got 2 iterations. It could be 10 months, 20 months, -7 months, we don't know, right? We don't know when Dogecoin's going to pop off, but based off of its prior 2 cycles, the assumption would be that it would be later in the cycle, which we are definitely getting to, but not quite there yet, and likely it wouldn't be until at least a month from now, if not longer. So I would expect, if not by the end of October, and probably not by the end of October, but sometime in November or December, that's when Dogecoin's going to pop off. And if that's when Dogecoin's going to pop off, that means that it's the perfect time to accumulate. Absolutely, it's the perfect time to accumulate. There's another thing that we can look at here, right? Nothing better than to accumulate something right before it's about to pop off. But before its eruption to the upside, it was hanging out around this green line, this 123 moving average on the weekly time frame right here, right? Boom. That was the case as well back in this cycle, right? Right before this explosive, crazy upside, we were chilling around the green line, right? Hovering above it, but dipping below it at times, dipping near it at times. If you bought near the green line at all prior to the eruptive phase, you would have bought at a very ideal place, right? I bought like up here, man, last cycle. I bought like right here at these like low points here, right? I bought after it erupted a little bit already, and it was still phenomenal, right? We're at this point right now where it's literally the launch pad. It's in a prime zone right around this 123, right before we move up, right? We're 5 months prior to the halving. It wouldn't make sense, and we only have 2 iterations to go off of, so who cares if it makes sense or not, but I would think that it does take more time before we move up, but we could, I suppose, move up this month, but I would expect, being that we're at 10.83 cents on this chart right now, I would think that anytime we go below 10 cents, and I do think we'll have multiple opportunities for that, would be a great opportunity to buy. That's when I would seize any opportunity to buy Dogecoin. I think that window is closing. It's fastly closing, but it's still there, right? There's no reason to panic or to rush things. Definitely be patient, but even if you do rush things, you jump all in right now. As long as you're patient and you don't panic sell if you see a little bit of downside, that's okay. 10.83 cents, it's a perfect price to buy. I think it is. I just think if you're patient, you will get slightly lower prices as well. And the reason for that is it's just not time for Dogecoin to go up yet. It's getting there. It's just not time yet. And with that, we just moved up. The next thing to kind of do whenever you're not ready to really take off, if you've just moved up, the next thing to do is probably to move down. So whenever you're below 10 cents, that's probably a really good time to buy. Very like neutral kind of RSI. Definitely bullishly postured, but it's neutral nonetheless. Not getting overbought, not getting oversold. Neutral price action, very obvious there. I just think, you're at your point, your resistance point over here that you've been in since like August. You probably come down, find support, a higher low that's below 10 cents. When you're below 10 cents, anytime you're below 10 cents, the green light is on like overdrive, man. It is time to go and time to buy. But even being around 10 cents like this, I think it's a totally fine area to buy. Anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you. If you want to play a drinking game or a smoking game or whatever kind of game with yourself, go back and watch this video and do your thing every single time I say the words 10 cents or great time to buy. And hit that like button. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.